Hi, my name is Dennis Spurling. I'm not a lawyer, but my daddy is.
Yeah, if you've been hurt in a car accident, call my daddy.
No need to scream and yell like a little kid.
Yeah.
My daddy will fight for your rights.
Yeah, fight for your rights.
If you've been involved in a car accident, call my daddy or turn in Dennis Spurling.
Hello, I'm attorney Dennis Spurling. If you've been injured in a car wreck, call me at 713-229-0770.
Call my daddy.
And why do I say all black men don't have children? Let's see. All right, so this is from the United States Census Bureau. If you look here, the percentages of black men who are fathers by age group, 3.1%, 15 to 19, 24.9%, age 20 to 29, 62.5%, 30 to 39, 80.5%, age 40 to 49. So these are the percentage of black men who are fathers or when they become dads. Keep that in mind. Let's continue. Now, this is how you average that out. You put those three numbers together, you get 42.75% of black men have children. Any number below age 15 or any number above age 49 is too low to even factor in. That's why that's not up there. Because yes, there are some kids that have children at young ages, which is crazy and absurd. And there are some men who have children after age 49. But the numbers are so low, they only took the categories, the 4 categories that have the most children. So this is where you get the average of 42.75% of black men are fathers. Now, what that means is 57.25% of black men do not have children. So what does that tell you? You cannot blame all black men for the reason why we have such a high single mother, our children born at a wedlock rate, because women are having sex and creating children with the same men. Let's continue. 69.4% of all black children are born out of wedlock into 42.75% of black men. Common question. How can this happen? NBA YoungBoy has 2 women pregnant at the same time, and he is on his 11th and 12th child at age 23. I believe he has 9 baby mothers. What does that tell you? 1 man, 9 women. Let's continue. Now, this is another one. Father of 33 kid claps back at social media, calling him irresponsible and nasty after his picture goes viral. He has I think this guy, the 33-year-old, he has like upwards of maybe 20 baby mamas on his own. And then you have the rapper, Jay Fizzle. He has 22 kids, and it says rumors are saying that he may have as many as 22 different baby mothers. Did y'all hear what I said? That's 1 man with potentially or possibly 22 different baby mothers. That is how you get the numbers that we have. And the reason why 57% of black men don't have children, based on the statistical numbers. I have the references here. It's from the U.S. Census Bureau. It is from blackdemographics.com, Pew Research, and also I have a study in regards to the statistics about single fathers. So the additional 30.6% of black children are born to the 33% of black men married. As of now, there are 33% of black men married. To summarize, these are the percentages of black men who have fathers in this age group. Like I said, I averaged those out. It came to 42.75 black men are fathers. 57.25% of black men don't have children. 69.4% of all the black children are born out of wedlock. And they are born to 42.75% of the black men. Those are the black men that are having the majority of the kids. The additional 30.6 black children are born to 33% of married black men. This is how we get those numbers. So the reason why I did this is because I hate seeing the fact that every time the conversation of children out of wedlock or single mothers come up, all black men get blamed. But as you guys can see here, the majority of black men.
What's up? What's up? What's up? Welcome to the broadcast. I hope everybody is having a great day, great night, great morning. I want to give a big shout out to everybody who's been with me for these years now, and all the new people. Let me do me a favor. I want to give a shout out to all the Kevin Samuels fans. Where are my Kevin Samuels fans at? Y'all hit the KS button. Let me know you are here. All the KS family, hit the KS button, because I know I got a lot of people that migrated over here after Kevin Samuels passed away. And so shout out to you guys. Shout out to Jamal Smith. Thank you so much. He said much love from the DMV. Big shout out to Too Tall. Shout out to everybody. He said happy Friday. Fritas Day. Shout out to her. Everybody up in I'm going to give a big shout out to Joan and all my new folks over in the Philippines. Shout out to everybody in Thailand. Shout out to everybody who's just enjoying this conversation around the world. I want to give a big shout out to the men who are not black who follow my channel. Okay. Hispanic, Asian, Arab, we got Middle Eastern, we got white guys white men who follow the channel from Europe. And I want to talk to you guys specifically, okay? Because recently I was invited to a podcast from a young lady who is from the Philippines, right? And she wanted to know basically what's up with this kerfuffle. Why are these Black American women so hostile towards, why are they so hostile towards Filipino women? What's going on? And so the young lady, her name is Lapu, that's the name, right? The interview went great, and I'm always positive, always speak on the issues openly and honestly. You guys know everything I say is statistically supported or supported by some sort of government, study or something like that, or some statistics. I've been doing this a while now. And so I actually have a Rolodex, I have files full of documentation and whatnot. But the bottom line is, I basically sung the praises of Black American men on this broadcast, and that apparently offended this gentleman. Okay, so let's, and I'm petty, so I always go back to the, I always go and hang out in the comment section and to see if there's anything interesting. So this gentleman here, and I blew his picture up. He's an older white man. I don't know anything about him. But this is what he had to say, right? For those of you guys who saw, I posted it on my page so that you guys can see it. This is how he started off. Go back up because it's gonna get juicy. All right. Let me see here, man. I lost that. Got a little too big. I need to get small on them. Hold on a minute. Let's get this. Let's get these comments back in here. Oh, you know what? Before I get started, shout out to the Wrench Mob. Shout out to everybody in the chat room who contributed. Thank you guys so much. I have not forgot you. I'm gonna keep it at about this size. I'll be able to read it. If you want to read this individual's comments in detail, just go over to my page, my discussion page. But he says this guest lied to you nonstop about black men. Now, the first thing I want you guys to understand is this. It is when you're dealing and let me start off like this. There are white men that I do business with. There are white men that I have as friends. There are white men that I compete with who are on my different teams. I have great respect for all men, and I have white men that I consider comrades, white men that I would actually go to bat for. So what you all have is kind of what we have. See, this gentleman, this Randall Colhan gentleman, whoever he is your pookie. He is your Ray Ray. And just like black men have to deal with pookies and Ray Rays, you white men have to deal with pookies and Ray Rays, and you have to call them out. Because, see, when they leave the fence, then somebody outside in the street is going to have to deal with them. And that's what I'm going to do right now. Shout out to David Dice. Thank you so much. Now, that said, not all white people are racist. Not all black people are criminals. Not all Asian people know karate. Not all black men and black women can dance. Let's think of some more. Not all Arab people are from some desert area in the world. Nevertheless, there are some fun facts for you all that we have to deal with. Something you may not know, but it was the English Navy that brought an end to slavery. They actually fought against African kings in 1808 to bring an end to slavery. But on the flip side, the Battle of Bomber Bridge, which took place in after World War II, took place between black men and white men in the U.S. Army because basically these white guys, these white military men wanted to come over to England and impose segregation there. And the English was like, we like these black dudes. They're American GIs just like you. And they're very polite and we appreciate them. Shout out to Jackson Dawes. So it can go either way is what I'm telling you. But bottom line is I'm not here to pigeonhole every white man and say, hey, all you guys are, bigots or absolutely not. Absolutely not. 600 men fought in the Civil War. 600,000, black men fought along white men to help free the slaves. And they gave their blood and they fought whether they wanted to or not. The bottom line is I'm not going to do that. But I am going to call it out when I see it. And I'm going to tell you exactly what I think based on what we see. Now, this gentleman named Randall Cohen, he decided to say, you lied, the guest. So he's speaking to this young woman who's a Filipino who doesn't know anything about black people, right? Is trying to get her to believe that I lied to her nonstop about black men. And I want you to listen to this hour-long video. And he said he lied about the percentage of black men that are fathers, right? As if this guy would know, right? He lied about black men being more educated than black women. Okay. These are all issues that we deal with amongst black people. And the truth is 36% of black women have education. 26%, it's about 26% of black men, but that's not even what I was talking about. I was talking about how much money we make and how good we are, but education was not something that necessarily came up. The truth is 36% of black people have college and 26% of black men. Why does he even care? See, that's the question you have to ask yourself. What he's doing is he saw a successful black man that was being bragged upon by this Filipino woman who is family oriented, well spoken, and articulate. And he does not want Filipino women or Thai women or Asian women to develop these good feelings about Black men. Okay. He likes it the way he is. Okay. He does not want Black men coming over there, you know, with our man parts, messing up what he's got going on. Shout out to Can't Draw, but I'm going to anyway. Okay. This is what's going on. The same thing happened when Black men were in World War II. In World War I, they told the European women that Black men had tails. So this is all this guy's doing, is trying to convince this young Filipino woman that Black men have tails, run from them. This is the same old racism that we've been seeing for hundreds of years now. It's competition based. I get it, right? The Black women have, okay, and here's what else. Black women have been complaining about Black men for 70 years. So you got a white man telling a Filipino woman that Black women have been complaining about Black men for 70 years, right? These are the same. Actually, it's been about 55 years, but nevertheless, let's go ahead and get into it. When I tell you Black women, when I tell Black women that white men, racist white men, and white people in general who are racist, and again, I'm not saying all white people are racist. I'm not saying that. Don't pigeonhole that. We got assholes in there are assholes in every ethnic group. And the racists among you are the assholes. And as long as they're affecting me, I'm going to call them out. This man took it upon himself to say horrible things about Black men, basically using the talking points from Black women, who the whole world sees at this point is full of shit. Still, he's trying to rehash that and say, oh, they've been complaining about Black men. As if to say, well, if their own women are complaining about them, then what does that tell you? They must be no good. This is a hit job. This is an overseas hit job. And fellas, you're going to have to expect this. And that's why you have to arm yourself with the facts. This guest is of the same red pill genre as Kevin Samuels and Andrew Tate. I'm very good friends with the late Kevin Samuels. I defended him. But those of you guys who know that I am not what they consider red pill. I am a traditional conservative. I believe in family values. This is where I am. Red pill guys, that's MGTOW, that's pickup artists, that's all that different stuff. That's not what I am. As far as Andrew Tate, I like Andrew Tate. I appreciate him being honest and speaking truthfully and being honest with the world and telling young men to stand up, be men. It's okay to be men. Being masculine is a good thing, not a bad thing. Stop being effeminate little wimps. Get off your mother's couch. I like him for that, period. Okay. Now, that does not mean that me and those other two men share the same ideology. I'm a family man. I enjoy being a family man. Okay. He's trying to basically say, oh, well, see, he's a woman hater. He hates women. He's a player. This is what this guy is trying to paint us at. Again, this is the old Black men. These Black men have tails, right? This is what this guy is trying to do. They look for, okay, so here's the stereotype. They look for women from foreign countries to exploit and use. This white man, who is in the Philippines apparently, is telling this Filipino woman that I and Black men are looking for foreign women in countries to exploit. Ain't that the pot calling the kettle black? I wonder what you're doing over there. But I'm just asking the question. There's a reason that 70% of Black babies, listen to them, do not have fathers. Now, the reason that 70% of Black babies do not have fathers, and it's not that they don't have fathers, sir, it's that 70% of women are being impregnated by about 20% of men, and those are the men that they choose to have sex with. Okay? That is a female choice that they have. Their body, their choice. They can give their meow meow to whoever they want to. Shout out to Joan J. Okay? We don't have any say-so over that. Why don't you ask those 70% of women why they decided to have sex with the same group of men? Maybe it's because in the Western world, white men have been so simpish that you've given these women all these rights, and now they're using them to smack you upside the head with it. The white man gave the woman everything, white women everything they wanted. And what did they do to you white men? They gave you family, they gave you Me Too, They gave you no fault divorce. They took your children away. So you're dealing with the same thing we're dealing with. But this asshole right here has you're dealing with the 80-20 rule too. White men are leaving the country and going passport bro before black men were. So this guy has the nerve to get on here and talk crap about what black men are having to deal with. Yes, 70% of children born to black women in the United States are born to single mothers. Why? Because they're excuse the language, they're fornicating with the same 20% of men. All right. So you just lay these stats out there. He's trying to see what he's trying to infer is that 70% of black babies are born to have no father. He's inferring that we'll say 70% of women were impregnated by 70% of black men, and those 70% of black men just abandoned those women. No, buddy, this ain't 1950. We got the internet, we got computers, we can research this stuff on. The intro that you saw just explained exactly what was going on. Let's keep reading this filth. There's a reason that blacks in the U.S. represent 14% of the population and commit 56% of the violent crimes. Now, I want you to look at that. There's a reason that blacks in the U.S. represent 14% of the population and commit 56% of the violent crimes. Now, I want you guys to come over here with me for a minute, okay? Now, I just did this the other night, and I don't want to beleaguer the point, but you're going to have to deal with this nonsense and these misstatements made by people. This is the FBI stats from 2019. It's close enough. It's pretty accurate as to what's going on. I want all my Filipino people to look. Where are my Filipino? Where are my foreign folks at? These are the FBI crime stats, the Federal Bureau of Investigation under the United States Department of Justice. It's the crime stats from 2019 in the United States. Now, this guy is telling you that 14% of the black population commits 56% of the violent crimes. Well, let's just take a look, okay? So by race, white people, this is the number of white people arrested. That is nearly 5 million, okay? And these are the various crimes in which they committed, right? So out of black people, 1,818,000. So who commits more crime? Who's arrested for more crimes off top? Let's just look at that. I want y'all to look at all my Filipino friends here. These are the type of misstatements that black people have to deal with because, you know, we don't control our own systems. We don't have the TV and whatnot. Look who's winning. You understand? Look at this. Who does more crime here, right? Just look at that. It's white people. That's why they got arrested more. They're the ones doing most of the crime. That's why you got damn near 5 million of them to get arrested. Yeah, black people commit crimes too. But the other thing you got to understand is a lot of times when black people commit crimes, they're wrongfully convicted. They're wrongfully arrested. And we're going to talk about that a little later on too. Matter of fact, I posted up something for you all to see. And let's go through a couple of stats right now, just so we can go ahead and get this thing underway. This was a study done in Michigan, okay? This is what black people have to deal with. White guys, old racist white guys, not all white guys, not all white men. I'm just talking about the ones I'm talking about, all right? I want you guys to understand, you know, what these are. This is another aspect of why black men are saying we're getting the hell out of here. You just can't get a fair shake in the United States. So here's murder, all right? Judging from exonerations, right? Because he's talking about violent crime. Judging from exonerations, innocent black people are about 7 times more likely to be convicted of murder than innocent white people. In other words, an innocent black person is more likely to get convicted. Why is that? The reason is because the jury is typically white. The judge is white. The district attorney is white. And so when they see a black person, they see all these negative stereotypes along with that black person. They do not leave their racism at the courthouse door. And that's unfortunate. They say justice is blind, but it's not. Okay. The major cause of the high number of black murder exonerations, and for those people who don't know, exonerations means we found out that we made a mistake in the court system. He's been exonerated. He's free. The major cause of the high number of murder exonerations is the high homicide rate in the Black community, a tragedy that kills many African Americans and sends many others to prison. Innocent defendants who are falsely convicted and exonerated do not contribute to this high homicide rate. They, like the families of victims are killed, are deeply harmed by murders committed by others. Here's what I want you all to understand. They push a bunch of people, a bunch of poor people in a community that's real small. They deprive it of anything. They don't give them good schooling. They don't have good resources. They don't have jobs. They over police them. They fill it with drugs and guns. And then they go in there and arrest people who commit crimes. And the police will go in and harass people. So yeah, if you're stuck in a ghetto full of other angry, hungry people who are not satisfied with life and no way of escaping, and they're constantly dealing with this harsh environment, and most Black people live in urban areas for the most part, this is the crime that they're talking about. Well, damn, yeah, there's going to be more crime. It's to be expected. My God. But this is a study from Michigan State. And if you go to this table, and here it is, it's called Race and Wrongful Convictions in the United States, National Registry of Exonerations, Newkirk Center for Science and Society, University of California, Irvine, California, 92697, March 7, 2022. And it goes to the table of exonerations by race of defendant and type of crime. Okay, so there you go. Let's look at this one, sexual assault. Judging from the exonerations of Black prisoners serving for sexual assault is 3.5 times more likely to be, you're more likely to get, you're 3.5 times more likely to be convicted than an innocent white person, because they give white people the benefit of the doubt, because that's how the system of white supremacy works, right? If I lived in a country where everybody looked like me and everybody in charge looked like me and the jury looked like me, they would give me the benefit of the doubt too. I don't know why white folks say that there's no racism or white supremacy doesn't exist. You're going to get the benefit of the doubt. If you're a Ugandan and you're in Uganda, and you're going to get the benefit of the doubt, right? Because those are your people. And we need to stop acting like children and grow up and accept the fact that people like to hook up people from their culture. You like to give them your jobs. You like to live around them. You like to work with them. Cool. Let's deal with that. That's human nature. I'm okay with that as long as people are honest about it. Again, that's from the same database, or the same Michigan University report that came out March 7, 2022. Drug crimes. The best national evidence on drug use shows that African Americans and whites use illegal drugs at the same rate. Nonetheless, African Americans are about 5 times as likely to go to prison for drug possession than whites. And judging from exonerations, and innocent Black people are about 12 times more likely to be convicted of drug crimes than innocent white people. Now, I want you to take a look at this. Okay, so when we go down here to this FBI stats, where we talk about drug possession, white people, you got 1 million white people getting convicted of drugs, and you got about 700,000 Black people get convicted of using drugs. Now, my thing is this, we got about 700,000 Black people, 748,000 white people getting convicted of using drugs, and about 270,000 Black people get arrested for using drugs. So my thing is this: if you know that innocent Black people are still getting arrested and going to jail, and they still have that number, and then you know this number is probably astronomical. This number is probably a lot higher than what it should be, because white cops oftentimes will let white folks go. You give them the benefit of the doubt. This is your team. You know why we like going places where we know people? Because we want to hook up. America is the hookup for white men. It's their country. It's their land. It's supposed to be like that. And Black people have to just realize that. And that's why I'm glad that we had great leaders like Marcus Mosiah Garvey that said Black men, Africa for the Africans. You see? So it's understood. This is normal human behavior. Let me tell you something. White supremacy is a horrible thing, but black supremacy would be a horrible thing too. Asian supremacy would be a horrible thing too, unless you're Asian. It's wonderful if you're Asian. Black supremacy is great if you're black. White supremacy is wonderful for white folks, but it's human nature. It's nepotism. Everybody's going to want to hook up their own people. There's nothing wrong with a white man wanting to marry a woman that a white man wanted his son and daughter to marry white people. It's okay. That's not racism. That's self-preservation. You always want to hook up your own. My problem is when you got an old hater like this dude right here, old buddy, comes onto some person's page and wants to talk nasty and say horrible things about black men. So again, when he said there's a reason that blacks in the USA represent 14% of the population and commit 56% of the violent crimes, that's just not true. White people commit more of the violent crimes because there's more white people in this country. Okay? He's talking about a statistical ratio of, per capita. Well, motherfucker, are you looking at the fact that they all living in ghettos and hoods and shit that's filled up with drugs and no job? Let's weigh that in. Yeah, you're going to be more likely to do crime to people if you running around in a drug-infested neighborhood with people shooting and stuff. Yes, get them out the ghetto and let's see what happens. Give them a fair shot and let's see what happens. Stop pitting them against each other and destroying their reputation and making them feel like lowly, unwanted dogs in a kennel. Yeah, they'll fight less. But that's human nature. You see? So this is the type of stuff that we have to deal with. See, it's not just about black women talking bad about us, fellas. You need to arm yourself with these statistics. So when you get assholes like this guy, right? You get assholes like this guy who want to destroy your reputation, you can hit them back. More white people are arrested for crimes in this country. More black people are convicted. Why? Because, well, this is the system that we live in. If the jury is white, the judge is white, the DA is white, they're probably not going to give your black behind the benefit of the doubt. On the flip side, if it's a white boy, they might make up some kind of, we got to get it. He's one of ours. They're going to look at him with sympathy. He's going to look like their nephew or their son. I get it. I'm okay with that. I just wish white folks would just be honest with themselves and say, yeah, it's the fucking hookup system. You know, you get the hookups and look what's going on in South Africa right now. They putting all the white people out. That's their shit. You can do what you want with your country and your land. I mean, it is what it is. But let's keep listening. Your guest has 3 sons and is divorced from a foreign Hispanic woman. Now just understand something. Just look at this, man. This man here. Your guest, referring to me, has 3 sons and is divorced from a foreign Hispanic woman. Now, I don't know if y'all know what a 9th Ward of New Orleans is. Do y'all know? Does anybody know about that mighty 9 when they don't mind dying? Does anybody know? Does anybody know what that is? That is nowhere near any foreign Hispanic countries. Okay? That is in that boot. Somebody type that boot in the chat room. Your guest and it has 3 sons and is divorced from a foreign Hispanic woman. My ex-wife is blacker than the bottom soles of a big black boot. Do you understand me? She was born and raised in New Orleans, and she says that. I don't even think she even met a Mexican until she came to Houston. You understand what I mean? This is what I'm talking about. Just flat out lies. You understand me? Just flat out misrepresentation because he was compelled because of his inner insecurity to come up here and talk stuff about a black man who was speaking positive about other black men. I recognize the game. I see what you was doing, and you see how he did it covertly. So, but here's his point. He had 2 children with her and a 3rd child out of wedlock. Ooh, scandalous. Okay. Here's the conclusion. The fact that he follows the misogynist Kevin Samuels that characterizes single women as low value. Do single women have high sexual marketplace value, fellas? If you had a choice between a 25-year-old woman with no children who was beautiful and a 25-year-old woman with children who was as beautiful, which one would you choose? Which one would you say had a higher sexual marketplace value? Well, it's obvious the woman without children would, fellas. Now, him referring to me as a misogynist who follows Kevin Samuels, first of all, Kevin Samuels is dead. That's the first thing you got to understand. Second of all, so nobody's following him. Second of all, you using the term misogynist indicates to me that you are probably a male feminist, or at least you coming off like a male feminist, or you just using everything you possibly can. Nevertheless, he characterizes single women. Yes, single women who have children know that they cannot do what they used to do when they didn't have children. Single moms know that shit themselves. Okay, Mr. Cohen. All right, Mr. Go behind me and say horrible things about black men, like I wasn't gonna come back up on your ass in the comment section. And look, that's right. Oh, what a shocker. He is a follower of the movement that considers single women like you with kids as low value. So you see that? So now he wants to undermine my credibility with this woman. What he doesn't realize, I spoke to this woman before and after the show. She actually spoke with my fiance. I actually helped her with some things. Now, as far as sexual marketplace value, any woman with children understands that when you have all them kids, you are not who you were when you didn't have them kids. So it's idiotic for you to try to convince her of something she already knows to be true. Every woman in the world knows that to be true. Kevin, and he's still talking about Kevin Samuels. Kevin Samuels rated women like a 13 or 14-year-old. Okay, so no, what he did was he asked them, how would you rate yourself on a scale of 1 to 10? And you can't use 7. So those women actually rated themselves. And all he would do is say, well, if you rated yourself a 5 or a 6, that's average, ma'am. If you rated yourself a 9 or a 10, he would say, well, Kelly Rowland is a 9 and Beyonce is a 10 or vice versa. So you think you on the level of Beyonce? He would just ask questions, sir. So why are you still talking about a dead black man? That's my question. Why are you so fixated with what black folks are doing over here? You're over there in the Philippines. Have you a good goddamn time? Let's keep listening. Mixed Philippines Journey is a jerk and a flower of Samuels as well. I don't know who this is, but he talking bad about somebody. Your guest believes all women with kids are low value. He's reemphasized this 3 or 4 times on the sexual marketplace. You understand that, sir? If a woman is not married and she's out there trying to catch multimillionaires, she's not going to be able to do what women who don't have children do, especially if they're younger than she is. Okay? Look how he keeps bringing up your daughter, listen to this, man. Listen to this cat. These are the type of covert racist white men that you have to deal with. And again, let me re-emphasize the point. Not all white men are racist. Not all people are racist. Not all anybody is anything. But this asshole right here, this is an asshole. All right? This is a sneaky asshole right here. These type of black men, here we go. This is what he's been wanting to say. These type of black men look at you as damaged. The reason he wants another young Dominican is he wants a slave to serve him. Hot damn. The white man is talking about Dominican slaves. Isn't that where slavery started in the Western world, sir? Didn't Christopher Columbus bring his hot behind over to the DR and enslave a bunch of Taino Indians? How dare you talk about who wants what as a slavery, sir? How dare you? And why are you in the Philippines anyway? What are you over there looking for in the Philippines, sir? I'm here in the great state of Texas. What are you looking for? Well, my fiance has a Ivy League degree and is in law school right now. What are you over there dating right now? Why are you not here in the United States, in Chicago, whatever the hell you from, sir? Think about that. The irony. Okay, he would not like an independent Filipina. What the hell are you talking about? I wouldn't like an independent, strong, independent black American, a strong, independent white American woman, or a strong, independent anything. Why would I want a woman who's independent when I want a woman who wants to be interdependent with me, sir? Answer these questions with your silly racist ass. He outright lied to you in 3 major areas. This is what this clown is saying. Just undermining my. See, he never thought I was going to come back here and peep this out. He never thought I was going to come blow him up and check this out. This is what this type of red pill man does. Kevin Samuels, his idol, died having sex with a nurse he met just hours early in a bar. Now you still talking about this man? And see, this is the problem when black women and the black news go spewing that hatred. This is exactly what I've been telling y'all. See, for the past 55 years, black women have been taking their hatred and spewing it on national TV, radio, and movies. And then motherfuckers like this take the information and then they develop stereotypes and they help to perpetuate those stereotypes against black American women. Black American men. This is why I tell black women, shut the fuck up. You're not helping us. They scream for years on all the mass media. And now that black men have had the microphone for the past 10 years, they're saying stuff like, well, we need to talk about, we don't need to be on the internet talking about this. Where was y'all at for the past 55 years when these lovely ladies were destroying our reputation? Where were you at then? Now, let me tell you something, Mr. Cohen. I can absolutely guarantee you that this young woman who is Filipino and all these Filipino people and all these people of color around the world, we know who you are. We know what white men have done throughout the earth when you've had leadership. No group of people is perfect. Asians aren't perfect. We see the atrocities of Genghis Khan. We've seen the atrocities of what the 15 million Chinese people that the Japanese killed during World War II. We've seen their atrocities. We know what the Africans have done. Africans have slaughtered Africans on the continent from the time of Shaka Zulu all the way up to the Hutu Tutsi wars. We know that. But we also know what you did. We know the millions of people that have been slaughtered between for the wars between France and England over the past 1,000 years. We know what the Germans did to the Jewish people. That Holocaust, 6 million Jewish people murdered. We know nobody is perfect. But see, here's the thing you got to understand. You coming on talking bad to this woman of color, this Filipino woman, about me only reemphasizes or only, how should I say, reasserts what all people of color think about white people. You are here to divide and conquer. And the shit's not going to work because we got the internet now. So we can compare notes. You can't secretly say nothing to nobody. We see it. We're going to put you on blast. And I'm calling out all the white men and women who see and hear this type of bull crap to call it for what it is. And I shouldn't have to explain to you. You want us to check our Pookie and Ray Rays? We checking them. You want us to put these black women in control because they're out of pocket? That's what we're doing right now. That's what you see the internet and a lot of black YouTubers doing, checking his bad behavior. It's your job to check this old racist motherfucker. That's your job. You good white men out there who are fair-minded and honest and want to be part of the human family, white women the same, you need to check these sons of bitches. That uncle that says racist shit, that cousin, that guy check these motherfuckers so I don't have to. Because see, when I put stuff out like this, some black people, some brown people will take it the wrong way and they say, oh, white people are racist. They'll take that shit and they'll run with it. If you want to be part of the human family, it is your obligation to put these assholes in their place, right? Now again, Kevin Samuels died in the arms of a beautiful Latina woman that he had been screening for 6 months very carefully. And the reason he did that was because, he wanted a woman, and I think he was actually talking about it on his broadcast. He was taking applications. I mean, that was something that he actually mentioned. Okay. But nevertheless, this was no flyby. Now you're trying to make it seem like Kevin Samuels was some scandalous man. The man taught Sunday school. Okay. The man was a teetotaler. He didn't drink. He didn't smoke. He didn't do any of that. The only time I ever saw him drinking was when I bought a bottle of that expensive ass. What's that? The one with the gold, the Ace of Spades, and he took a little sip for his birthday. That was it. The man was damn near a saint. You understand? No scandals, one child, a couple of marriages. He was a wonderful guy. Much fucking better than me. I'll fucking tell you that. As far as scandalous shit with bitches, okay? But the bottom line is he was a great guy. Why would you try to shit on his name like that, man? And the whole world loves him. And what business is it of yours? Nevertheless, what I did was I responded to this jerk. And I said, actually, the guest was married to a Black American woman and had 2 children with her. And a third woman is a Black American woman from a foreign country. As you all know, shout out to my Rast family and my Rasta baby. I have 2 sons, and I have another son by a Jamaican woman in Jamaica. It ain't a whole lot of Hispanic people in Jamaica, okay? They're all Black. Most of them Black as hell. So for the most part, through my whole life, I've dealt with only Black women. Yes, one of them is from New Orleans, and the other one is from Jamaica, but they're still Black. The woman I'm with now, she is Afro-Latina. And if you don't think she's Black, she'll tell you she's Black, especially when she gets around mestizos who ask her if she's Black. You understand? So mind your business. That's what you need to do. Nevertheless, stop trying to bring this misinformation in. The guest has never been married to a Hispanic. The guest has never been married to a Hispanic woman. You're right. I ain't never been married to a Hispanic woman, and I won't be married to a Hispanic woman. I'll be married to an Afro-Latino woman, but I won't be. Shout out to all the dudes married to Hispanic women. Got much love for you. Okay? But Hispanic is not a race. And I think our Hispanic brothers and sisters will tell you that, Mr. Misinformed asshole man that is spewing bigoted bullshit, sir. Let's hear what else he has to say. In fact, and I explained that to him. And I said, in fact, this is me talking back to him. In fact, the guest has only been married once. What's up with all these people on the internet making it seem like I've been married like 2 or 3 goddamn times? What kind of fool do you think I am to be married 2 or 3? I did it once. That shit was painful. I'm still recovering. I finally recovered. And I decided after listening to Kevin Samuels, I'll give it another chance. I've been married 1 time to a Black woman from the 9th Ward of New Orleans. That's like being married to 4 women at the same time. Are you kidding me? That mighty 9 and they don't mind dying? Y'all don't know what poor Uncle D had to go through. This is traumatic. Shout out, wonderful, fantastic, beautiful, lovely, fantastic ex-wife. May the Lord continue to bless her with blessings and wonder. Praise God. Praise God. But anyway, let's get back. So I kept responding to this dude because he needed to know that we on your ass. The guest is, let me see. Furthermore, the guest is not a member of a red pill community. I explained to you all that. The guest is a traditional conservative that believes in marriage and stable families. Right. That's why I got married in the first place, asshole. You understand? And everybody's entitled to the mistakes. How many kids you got over there, Mr. Cohen? Furthermore, Black American women have used every media source to belittle and stereotype Black American men for the past 55 years, which I said, which is what you're doing right now, which is what you're trying to do with these Asian women right now. It was for this purpose that the guest was invited to dispel these myths. It has only been since the rise of the internet that Black American men began to respond in kind as the women of the Philippines and Thailand have done that in response to the horrible things that Black American women have said. Moreover, the FBI statistics demonstrate that more white people are arrested for violent crimes, and white people know they do wild shit. White people know they be riding because they team win the goddamn football game or something like that. Shit. Look what they did up there. I mean, they do all kind of wild shit. But anyway, this is their country. The DA is white. The judge is white. The jury is white. They can get away with a lot more stuff. I get it. I understand. Whereas more Black people are convicted. In other words, what I'm saying is more white people are arrested, but for some kind of reason, the percentage of Black people that get convicted, somewhere between getting arrested and getting convicted, a whole lot of white people get let go, and a whole lot of Black people end up in the penitentiary. Why do you think that is? Well, let me tell you why it is. The reason is because the prosecutors, the juries, the judges, they're more inclined to give white criminals the benefit of the doubt. They go free, but they put Black suspects in prison even if they're innocent. And I gave you the studies from Michigan that came out in 2022 to explain that. So I'm not talking about some fantasy. Hell, I'm a lawyer. I see it all the time. I see them parading them brothers in the penitentiary. Some of them just take a plea because they don't want to be in jail no more and they can't afford a lawyer. So they just cop a plea just so they can get out. But now they got a felony on their record or they on probation. And then they get caught with weed or a traffic ticket or get caught with some dudes they ain't supposed to be with, living life. And now they back in the system. This is how that works. You understand? But again, like I said, this is how white supremacy works. And as far as Kevin Samuels, he was an advocate of marriage and he died. So I don't even know. Kevin didn't even call himself Red Pill. Okay. He was an advocate for marriage. He died in the arms of a beautiful woman. He'd been screening for 6 months. And when you're that rich, right? And this is my little dig at old buddy. When you're that rich, you have to be careful who you allow in your presence, something that you will never understand or experience. Because see, let me tell you, rich white men don't give a shit about what I'm saying to people on the internet. Okay. And then I said that your bigotry is showing, right? And why don't you put your Klan hood back on and go find a rock that you crawled from up under and return to it? So, you know, here's the thing, family. Here's the thing. And I'm not trying to lambaste all white men. I'm not at all. We got some white men out there that have worked hard, who earn what they got, who don't give a shit what you're doing, who are not trying to dick police black men or anybody else. We got some white men out there who are assholes, just like we got black men who are assholes. We got Asian, Arab, East Indian. We got assholes everywhere. But see, what you see right here is someone purposely trying to undermine the reputation of black men. And as long as you leave black men and black boys alone, I won't fuck with you. You see what I'm saying? But when you begin to attack the reputation of black men, then I have to deal with you. Because in fact, it is for all black men to deal with people who are trying to attack our reputation, period. And again, and I'm gonna say it again, there are some great white men out there, and then there's some shitty ones. I'm not here to tell you that all white people are racist. That would be bullshit on my part. That would be a generalization. That would actually be effed up. And I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to fall into that trap because that's too easy of a cop-out. Okay? That's just too easy of a cop-out. Period. I'm going to say I'd rather take an individual as an individual and judge that person based on what he says, how he lives, how he operates in this world. Not by the color of his skin, because that makes me no better than the assholes out there. Okay? So nevertheless, I hope you guys understand why I do this. I hope you guys understand that it's not that we as black men are fighting a war on all fronts to protect our reputation, but it's a very important thing. Okay? It's a very, very important thing. Now, one thing that I found very interesting that I want to share with you guys, in this same Michigan report, it says the following. Because as I was reading in preparation for this rebuttal of old buddy, and y'all go tell him, you know, you're an asshole, man. And this is not something that we don't know. We've seen it happen in World War II. What you have is you have black women and white men who want to dick police black men. They want to know what we're doing with our man parts. They always want to know. They're always monitoring our shit. And that's not cool. We're free from you, sir. You're not our daddy. I don't care how much that black woman says, how many lies she says about black men. It's a wrap. You can have her, and we're going to go about our business. We're going to go back to Africa. We're going to go to Asia. We're going to go to South America. We're going to go to Central America, and there's nothing you can do about it. And every time you go over there and you say bad things about black men, all that does is make those women want to get to know us better. And when they do find out who we are, it makes you look worse. So it's white men like this guy, Cohen, that gives all white men a bad name. So you guys, you white men, you righteous white men, you upstanding white men, white young boys too, you need to check these old assholes and the young ones if you find them, put them in their place and let them know, hey man, you don't represent us with that shit. And you create problems when you do that. Okay? You create problems for all people, and you create calamity and conflict. You create animosity. That's what your ancestors did. Period. And so cut it out. But here's something I want to talk about. It says here, since 1989, more than 1,800 defendants have been cleared in group exonerations that followed 15 large-scale police scandals in which officers systematically framed innocent defendants. That great majority were African-American defendants who were framed for drug crimes that never occurred. There are almost certainly many more such cases that remain hidden. And this is innocent Black people are about 12 times more likely to be convicted of drug crimes than innocent white people. African Americans are more frequently stopped, searched, arrested, and convicted, including in cases in which they were innocent. The extreme form of this practice is systematic racial profiling and drug law enforcement. So this is real. This is a study from the University of Michigan State University from 2022. And the thing is, man, we can't stop allowing them to dictate our story to us, brothers. Stop allowing white people or anybody else, black women, white men, whoever the hell has a problem with it, stop allowing them to tell us who we are. We define ourselves. We are free men to define ourselves. Now, something I found is very interesting. I want you guys to take a look at this. The nation's imprisonment rate is at the lowest level in more than 2 decades. The greatest decline has come from Black Americans, whose imprisonment rate decreased 34% since 2006. All right. It said Black imprisonment rate in the U.S. has fallen by a third since 2006. Now, if you went on to my page, it also follows up to say that the only thing that has increased is the incarceration rate of Black American women, which is something I've been telling y'all is going to happen. They are locking Black American women up, largely because they're committing more crimes, largely because they've been masculinized. So I want y'all to think about that. Now, I got a special treat for you guys. I've been planning this for a while. I want to introduce you to somebody very special that many of you all know. But before I do that, I want to give a big shout out to all my fan base, all my subscribers. Thank you so much. I hope you righteous white men and women who hear this, I hope you understand that this is a message and I'm sending it to you from a place of positivity. Y'all need to check these assholes amongst you because they're making it worse for everybody. Nobody wants to get back at you. Nobody wants to, history's effed up, okay? Everybody has done horrible things to people, okay? But what you can't do is you cannot continue to allow people like that to spew that sort of hate and venom and undermine Black people, brown people, whatever, with these racist tropes that aren't even true, okay? You got to cut that out. And it's your job to check the people in your house, just like it's my job to check the people in my house. That's what you see Black men doing now. We're checking each other. We're putting these Pookie and Ray Rays in their place. We're checking these outlandish ass, loud ass broads that we've been stuck with that y'all helped create. And, we're going to get ours done, but you need to get yours done. But nevertheless, like I said, I want to take this opportunity to introduce a young man to you all. I'm going to actually remove my tag name from the screen here. Okay. And I'll bring him up shortly. This young man is a dynamic young man. You've seen him on commercials. You've seen him on all my commercials for the most part. And he is my son. He's my second oldest son. He goes by the name Crimson Sun. And he's currently taking acting courses. He wants to be a neurosurgeon. The other thing is he's very good at analyzing movies. Okay, so what I'm going to do is we're going to take a quick commercial break and we're going to bring this young man in and we're going to let him tell you about his latest movie review. I would appreciate it if when we do come in, you guys give him a warm round of applause. So we'll leave. We'll come right back. But what we'll do is we'll actually do a roll call so y'all can check in, let me know where you're checking in from, and then we'll bring him back in and he'll introduce himself. All right, so y'all represent. We'll be right back.
Hey, I'm about to show you something. You get enough?
Hello, my name is Crimson Sun, and I am here to review the movie Ant-Man Quantumania. My favorite part about the movie was when the ants took over the quantum realm and they invaded Kang. And my favorite character was Kang because I like how strong that he was and how they stayed accurate to the comics and how they didn't really hold back on his strength. And things I think could be better about the movie, maybe the dialogue, because the mom, well, not the Hope and the daughter, they were kind of annoying at times, but you know, you could expect that from that type of person because they're girls. But um my favorite Ant-Man, about Ant-Man, I think Ant-Man could have showed maybe some more character because like all he was in the whole movie was, he's kind of boring, his character. That's why I said Kang was my favorite character, because he, the actor, the guy that played Kang, really did good with him. And Kang like showed emotion when he used his powers. And yeah, and the CGI was really good. The CGI when they went back in time, well, not really. When the mom clicked the orb for Kang and she saw the stuff that he had done, and he had destroyed planets and he had exiled everything. Yeah. And favorite character, favorite point in the movie. Yeah, my favorite point in the movie was when when the ants took over, and how I think they could have resolved it better. I think they should have paced it a little better because it was 2 hours long, but it didn't feel that long. And also they could have like done better with how they got into the quantum realm. Like they could have, like, a villain popped up in the real realm and then like he hit him with a portal gun to the quantum realm. It shouldn't have been like they were fooling around with something and then they just went straight to the quantum realm. That wasn't really a good way to introduce them to this new big villain. And also, maybe they could have made Kang a little bit stronger, because in this movie, he was going against Ant-Man, arguably one of the weakest Avengers. All he does is really shrink small, and then go big. It's not really hard to beat that when you're Kang, destroyer of worlds, conqueror of planets, you know. And his army. Oh, it felt like a lot of Star Wars too. Because when they first popped up and they saw the people, the mom sliced off the guy's arm, but he just regenerated it. Those look like Tusken Raiders. And at first, it looked like Camino from the Clone Wars, the mushroom planet with a lot of fungus. When they first popped up, it looked like Camino. And, oh, yeah. And the people that were in Kang's military, they also look like stormtroopers or clone troopers. And yeah. So at the end, in the post-credit scene, when they showed Kang and all the versions of Kang, I feel like they do that good because now in this new Marvel arc, it's all about multiverses and stuff. Back then it was about Thanos. That was the leading point. Now it's about Kang. And then after Kang, it's going to be Galactus. And then after Galactus, it's probably going to be the one below all. which is like one of the strongest Marvel villains, the strongest Marvel villain. And where I think MCU should go after this, I came in knowing that Kang wouldn't die in this movie because Kevin Feige introduced the Kang's Dynasty movie, and you can't really, I mean, I guess you could put Kang in a new movie because there's multiverses, and in the post-credit scene, we did see all these versions of Kang. We saw like a Genghis Khan Kang, a Pharaoh Kang, and a super robot-y Kang, and like this whole civilizations of Kang. So that's probably why he was so weak. But he was exiled, so he must have been like a terrorist or something. That's probably why he was exiled. That's why he was exiled. And would I recommend it for children? And I would recommend it. Yeah, it was a good movie. It showed like family and friendship and how it could like unite people. So you can watch this with your kids, with your parents, with your grandparents. Everybody loved it. So yeah, I rate this movie 8.7 out of 10. If it was, I would make it to get those 2.3 points. I would probably make the dialogue better, and maybe I'll give Kang some more screen time. Oh, and display Kang's powers more. Goodbye. Signing out, Crimson Sun.
Thank you, everybody, for your contributions. I appreciate it. Let's keep it going. Donate to the Super Chat. Donate to the PayPal. Donate to the Cash App. It's your contributions and your donations that will cause for this platform to grow. Let our voice be the voice, the preeminent voice in Black America. Hey, if you're enjoying the content here at Dennis Spurling Unfiltered, make sure you support it by sharing, and subscribing to the channel. And also, hit that little notification bell in the corner so that you'll get notice of each and every one of our live feeds. All right, I want to give a big shout out to the Crimson Sun, movie critic for kids and old people. That's pretty darn good, man. Shout out to my boy. I believe in teaching the next generation before you leave, to take your place. So that's part of what I'm doing with my sons. It's your legacy. It's important. And, the main thing is it's fun, and I hope you guys enjoy that. So he's going to be part of our Esquire Entertainment family. It's going to be, if you haven't joined my Esquire Entertainment page, go ahead and do that now. It's going to be fun. It's going to be music. It's going to be entertainment. I will definitely have Roman. That was his first time ever doing that. And so a big shout out to the Crimson Sun. Shout out to the Crimson Sun. All right? I think he did pretty good, and thank you guys for your support here on that. So, nevertheless, look, I've said enough. Again, I want folks to understand that we don't preach bigotry or racism on this page, but we do call it out when we see it. When I see Black folks being bigoted, like I saw Black American women being bigoted, Black men being bigoted towards Asian folks, we're going to call that out because it's not right. Same thing goes with vice versa. Same thing's going to go when I see old white dudes do it. But you old white dudes, y'all know better. You know goddamn well you can't get away with shit like that. It's just too obvious. So cut it out and excuse the language. I was trying to keep the language down because I knew the little fella was going to show up, and I don't want no issues from his lovely, wonderful, fantastic mother. Praise God. Praise God. Like I tell my boys all the time, she is a wonderful and fantastic mother, just a horrible father. Amen. But anyway, man, thank you guys so much. I hope you guys appreciate my work here. I hope you'll think about what was said. If you haven't had an opportunity to go visit Sharon's page, go ahead and do that. Don't be disrespectful to the dude. Don't cuss him out. Don't call him names. Call him on what he did. Call him on how obvious it was. Tell him that there's a historical precedent for what you've done, sir. You're undermining Black men because of jealousy is so obvious. you know, you're not be a man about it. You know, we peep game, homie. But nevertheless, again, people are inclined to be human beings. I recognize white supremacy, racism, Asian supremacy. I recognize supremacy for what it is. You want your team to win. I'm not mad at you for that. But the only thing that's really going to put an end to the unfairness of any ethnic group being supreme over another is for the ethnic group that's being victimized to unify. And that's the only way it's going to work. But either way, man, y'all make sure y'all go over to Esquire Entertainment. This is the channel here. Let me see if I can pull it up with you guys real quick. Y'all go over to Esquire Entertainment. Make sure you subscribe to the channel because we're gonna have a lot of fun over here. I'm building the channel. I'm working on it. You will see that. You will see that first that first movie review from the Crimson Sun. And I might actually ask the young man if he will do movie reviews of like older movies that we like, that we grew up watching, just to see what this young mind thinks about them and what times was like back then. Either way, like I said, Esquire Entertainment, please go join that channel. The link to it is in the chat room. I'd love for you guys to give me 10,000 followers over there so we can really get that thing going. I want to open that up for other people to have an opportunity to showcase some of their talent, be it music, their ability to break down movies, screenplays, talk to you about, you know, what's going on in Houston this week, what's going on in New York this week, party scene, club scene. You know, we're going to have it really popping over there. You see what I mean? What's going on in Medellin this week? You know what I'm saying? What's popping down in Santo Domingo, Puerto Plata? Where's the Super Bowl party? Going to be in Rio this week. You know what I'm saying? So it's going to be a really international thing where we're going to really, you know, take advantage of this movement that we got going on, man. But other than that, man, I love you guys. I appreciate you guys. Shout out to Mr. Cohen. Look, you're an asshole. I appreciate you for being honest. I'm not going to disrespect you by calling you anything other than what you are. To all my folks who are from other ethnicities and groups, you know what I'm telling you is the truth. You know I'm only asking you to be better human beings. I would not give anybody any advice that I wouldn't give my own sons. And if my sons were acting an ass and around here saying bigoted, racist shit, I would check them on it too, because that's what a real uncle is supposed to do. Okay, on everything, man. But other than that, this is Uncle D. I appreciate y'all. Y'all make sure y'all get the subscribe buttons in, man. Hit that subscribe button. Other than that, I'm out.